Hi Cancer, welcome to your love reading for December 2019. Let's go ahead and see what is coming up for you. This is a love reading for the sign of Cancer for December 2019. Okay, interesting. What's the most important thing that Cancer needs to hear about their love life for December 2019? The main energy for you, Cancer, is the Magician. So the universe is telling you for the month of December, this is your call. The Magician is all about manifestation. Manifesting maybe a new relationship if you're single, or if you're coupled and you're going through a difficult time, which I do see here. The Magician is telling you to be empowered. Take back your power. Create the relationship that you want. So I'll come back to this card in a minute and see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's go ahead and start at the top. If you'd like a private reading with me, just scroll down and you'll see a link to my website, channeltheguidance.com. Okay, so you're actually starting with the Two of Swords, the Page of Coins, and the Queen of Cups. So I see your energy here as a water sign. If you're coupled with a water sign, this could also represent them. I feel like the sign of Cancer, like you're dealing with some type of really complicated decision. You have the Two of Swords, and you also have another card. Let me just show you right here. You have two cards representing some type of decision that the sign of Cancer needs to make. Because it's the Two of Swords, to me, this is not just a card of decisions. This is a card of something extremely complicated, a decision that you're running away from. There is someone here who's running away from a very complicated situation. Maybe there is more than one person involved. Maybe someone is trying to choose between partners. This is something that someone does not want to face, and because of that, this does represent stuck energy. I do feel like whatever this is, I mean, we've got the Page of Coins here. The pages do represent communication, but this page actually means that someone is looking at something very carefully in the month of December. I feel like, because we have the Two of Swords here, someone is looking at a very tricky, complicated decision. So this could be, again, choosing between partners, or trying to decide if they're going to leave a relationship, or trying to decide if they're going to leave a marriage. Someone is looking at a very tricky decision here for the month of December. Now, if you look at the next row here, we've got the Emperor, the Seven of Coins, and the Ace of Swords. So again, there is another decision here. The Seven of Coins, to me, this is someone who is weighing their options. Someone who is taking their time, weighing the pros and cons, like, should I take them back? Should I be in this new relationship? Should I pursue a relationship with this person? Should I marry? This is someone who's taking their time, and maybe you're not seeing a lot of action right now because this does represent someone who is acting very slowly. So we have that there in the center. We also have the Emperor here. So now you have the Emperor and the Magician. This represents a lot of empowerment around the sign of Cancer for the month of December. The Emperor is telling you that you have to take control of the situation. Some of you may be dealing with someone who does not want to make a decision. Again, that was your very first message. Someone is refusing to make a very complicated decision. Maybe this is, I feel like for some of you, this can be maybe a decision to leave someone else to be with you, and someone is just kind of leading you on. You definitely don't want to allow that to happen. In fact, the cards are kind of screaming to take back your power, maybe from someone who is leading you on. Someone who is refusing to make a decision, maybe just to commit to you, to be with you. Again, someone is very cautiously trying to weigh the pros and cons of what to do next, but you're being told, like, you need to really step up and take control of the situation here. You also have the Ace of Swords on the other side. To me, the Ace of Swords is the truth. So some of you could be maybe communicating the truth to someone in the month of December. You could also be hearing the truth from someone, but I mean, this could also be that someone just needs clarity in a relationship. Someone may not be able to make this tricky, complicated decision here. They could be stalling because they don't really know the truth yet. Maybe they don't see the truth of how they really feel about you, who they want to be with, because you have a strong energy here of, like, choices, decisions. Someone has options here for the sign of Cancer. Now you also have, let's see, you have another page here. You have the Page of Cups. So you have one page here and one page here. So for the sign of Cancer, there can be communication in the month of December. You could be hearing from someone that you've been wanting to hear from, because the Page of Cups is perhaps, a declaration of love, someone telling you they still care about you, they still love you. This is someone talking about feelings, relationships, love. So I see that here for you. You also have right next to it you have the Fool. So this is a new beginning for the sign of Cancer. So communication in the month of December, communication could lead to a new beginning. However, the Fool is telling you this is a new beginning at your own risk. So for some of you, you could be hearing that someone still cares about you. This could be an ex or someone where, again, maybe there was something very complicated about your relationship. I do see communication and a new beginning, but again, the Fool is telling you that you're going to have to trust your heart and your intuition. There are no guarantees with the Fool, especially with something like this right next to it. You have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords does represent sabotage, self-sabotage, a decision that comes back to haunt you. So just be careful in the month of December, because I feel like someone is making a decision, or someone is, someone is avoiding making a decision, but maybe they know that they have to make this decision now. They've been taking their time, but you have the energy here of a decision that comes back to haunt you. So if this is you, you really want to take the time that, you don't want to rush something, but at the same time, for the month of December, you have the Magician and the Emperor here. It is time for the sign of Cancer to really take back their power when it comes to your love life. Okay, let's go ahead and get a few more cards. Let's get the rest of the message. What other messages are there for the sign of Cancer for December? We've got the Two of Cups, the Wheel, and the King of Cups. So of course, you are a water sign, you are the King of Cups. So there is, a soulmate relationship here. For those who are single, this can definitely be somebody new coming into your life. This actually is right next to your energy here as the Queen of Cups. You have a soulmate relationship here. Of course, if you're already coupled, then this person is already in your life. You do have this with the Wheel. To me, the Wheel is a card of destiny. Of course, this is a card of just change, positive changes, a lot of movement around a soulmate relationship. But again, this is a card of destiny. For the sign of Cancer, it could be that in the month of December, destiny is finally manifesting for you. Maybe there is a new partner coming into your life. But I do feel like for some of you, there is a decision that's being made around a soulmate. Someone has been very cautious, maybe as far as, are they going to be with you? Again, I feel like there are other options. That's just the message that I get with the Two of Swords and the Seven of Coins. There's a decision that has to be made as far as a relationship. I feel like, because you have two pages here, Page of Coins and Page of Cups, there is a lot of communication for the sign of Cancer in the month of December. Like you're finally hearing something that you've been waiting to hear. Or there's a decision being made that someone has been kind of running away from. Like they don't want to make this decision because it's too hard, it's too difficult. This is kind of like sticking your head in the sand and, refusing to see what is happening right in front of you. But it just seems like there is a decision being made. But I do feel like you have to be careful with the Five of Swords. This does represent a decision that comes back to haunt you. Let's go ahead and get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. Let's see what else comes up for the sign of Cancer. What other messages are there for Cancer for December 2019? You have the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. What's the most important thing that Cancer needs to hear about their love life for December 2019? The message that you have, Cancer, is the Emperor. So the Emperor is actually here 2 times. So, you have the Emperor 2 times, you have the Magician 2 times. This is really a time for you to take back your power. Again, if somebody has been misleading you, leading you on, all those crazy things that happen when you're in a relationship. The month of December is this is the time to put your foot down. This could even be the time to issue an ultimatum, like choose or I'm gone. Choose or I'm moving on. It's kind of that type of energy. There's a lot of personal power here in these 3 cards. Again, the Emperor 2 times and the Magician. Like you're going to manifest something in the month of December. You want to be careful that you don't manifest something that you're going to regret, because that is the Five of Swords. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 cards that I've pulled for you. You have the Nine of Pentacles. This is just telling you, this goes with those 3 cards I just showed you. The Nine of Pentacles is telling you, do what is best for you, Cancer. The Nine of Pentacles, this is putting yourself on a pedestal. This is about self-confidence, self-worth, making a decision that you can sleep with at the end of the day. This is doing just what is best for you. You have the Eight of Pentacles. So, you're being told there's a lot of work to do, maybe in healing a relationship, or, you know, maybe fixing a marriage. There is a lot of work to do here. But I do see something changing for you. You have the Eight of Wands. This is a positive change, something you've been waiting for a long time. For some of you, this can be just something that you're manifesting. Again, you had the Magician and the Emperor 2 times, which is, I mean, that is amazing. So it's like you're manifesting maybe something, again, maybe you're single and you've been waiting for a new soulmate to come in. I do see a soulmate here, ironically, right next to you. This is, again, this is fireworks, the Eight of Wands. You've been waiting for this for a really long time. It can also be maybe that you're manifesting a reunion with an ex. I am going to do the ex spread next. The Eight of Wands is just a lot of movement, a lot of change. Perhaps, you know, you have been working on this for a long time, because you have the Eight of Pentacles as well lined up with it. This is a lot of work and effort being put into your love life or your relationship, a marriage. But at the same time, you know, with all these cards of empowerment, you're being told do what is best for you. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the ex spread. Okay, Cancer, let's go ahead and see what is going on with your ex for the month of December. Cancer and their ex for December 2019. So you have the Emperor again. Remember, you just had this card as a repeat card in the first spread. Also, the Two of Swords, which was your very first card in the last spread I just did for you. So these are repeat cards. Look at this. The Magician is back. I mean, it's a sign of Cancer. Like, you definitely have a lot of power in your hands as far as the month of December. Like, okay, let me just pull a few more here. Interesting. 2 and 3 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what you have going on here. I mean, you're starting with the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups can represent sadness over the loss of a relationship. We're looking at an ex. So for some of you, it could be that maybe you're still dwelling on this breakup. The 5 of Cups, to me, it does represent disappointment, regret. So it could be that maybe your ex is maybe having regrets about maybe letting you go. I'm kind of seeing that like right here already in the second row, which, I mean, with a Tower right next to the Two of Swords. This is definitely like somebody like, you know, having a moment of truth, especially with the Ace of Swords. I feel like for the sign of Cancer, I mean, the 5 of Cups, there's a lot of unhappiness around an ex, but there's also a sense of disappointment. Maybe somebody is disappointed that they let you down. You also have the Emperor again. I mean, you had the Emperor 2 times in the last spread. The Emperor is saying, take control, take charge. This is, you know, telling you need to be in the driver's seat. I feel like you have a lot of power when it comes to your ex. You may feel, I feel like some of you may not feel that way because maybe you've not heard from them, but I definitely feel like your ex is thinking about you. I mean, you have the Emperor and the Magician here. And like I said, you just had the Emperor 2 times. This is a lot of power for the sign of Cancer. I feel like you have more power over your ex than you know. And the Emperor is saying, like, you could use this. You have the Two of Wands here. So the Two of Wands, you actually have the 2 and the 3 of Wands. So there is some type of delay around Cancer reuniting with an ex. The Two of Wands is, to me, a card of delays and waiting. It could be that maybe you're having to kind of wait for someone to really kind of see that maybe they made a very unwise decision. You did have the 5 of Swords in the first spread that I did for you. Again, that is a decision that blows up in your face. It could be that the sign of Cancer, maybe you're waiting for your ex to really see that, you know, for them to have this, you know, sense of regrets from the 5 of Cups. This is a card of regrets and disappointment. Because here we go again. The 2 of Swords. This was your first card that I pulled for you in the first spread that I did. This is being stuck. This is someone who refuses to make a decision, who just refuses, and it does represent stuck energy. However, right next to it, we have the Tower. So the Tower is kind of an explosive energy, like something dramatically changes overnight. Some of you could be seeing an ex who, you know, had been maybe refusing to come back to you, maybe been misleading you. I get a lot of this in private readings. Like, my ex called me, and then he didn't call me again for like 3 months or something like that. I mean, you have the Two of Swords here, which means somebody had been kind of dragging their feet and making a decision, but suddenly, like, everything changes with the Tower. There's a very unexpected change around maybe someone who had refused to come back to you, someone who refused to make a decision. We have clarity here, the Ace of Swords. This is someone who finally knows how they feel. This is someone who finally knows what they want. This is a clear head, a new perspective. Somebody maybe is finally seeing you for who you really are, and they have, you know, a clear sense of, you know, what they want from you, or, you know, they have a clear sense of what, you know, the kind of future they want to have with you. And again, the Magician. The Magician is telling you, you hold all the cards. You have more power than you know. You can manifest a future with your ex if that is what you want. You do have you have the 2 and the 3 of Wands here. So for some of you, there can be waiting as far as actually seeing all of this manifesting. For some of you, this may not manifest exactly in the month of December. Because the 3 of Wands, this is maybe waiting for that perfect timing. It could be that your ex maybe is waiting for that perfect timing to kind of creep back into your life. Because I do feel like eventually, I mean, with the 5 of Cups, eventually there are regrets. And again, it's not just the 5 of Cups. The first spread that I did for you had the 5 of Swords, which is someone's decisions blowing up in their face. So you could be dealing with an ex who's going to kind of have a moment of truth, which we see there, but there is waiting around it. Again, 2 and 3 of Wands. You also have the 9 of Wands here. So the 9 of Wands, I feel like this is telling you to protect yourself. The 9 of Wands is about not letting your guard down, especially if you're dealing with an ex that is not very reliable, wishy-washy, someone that maybe, you know, had you stuck for a really long time, refused to make a decision as far as being with you or choosing you. The 9 of Wands is protecting yourself, keeping your guard up. Okay, let's get a few more cards. Cancer and their ex for the month of December. You have the 10 of Pentacles. You have the Hermit. And the Page of Swords. So you actually have the truth here. The Page of Swords represents the truth, and the Ace of Swords represents the truth. The truth is here 2 times. So some of you could be hearing the truth as far as how an ex really feels about you. I feel like this just came up in one of the past readings that I just uploaded. The truth is here for the sign of Cancer in the month of December. You could be hearing that they've not moved on, or you could be hearing that they've had some major regrets. Maybe they made a decision to leave you. Maybe they ended the relationship that has blown up in their face. The truth is here for the sign of Cancer. You do have the 10 of Pentacles. I mean, again, we're looking at an ex here. But you do have the 10 of Pentacles, which is a relationship card, commitment, stability. This can even be marriage. So that potential is still there for the sign of Cancer and their ex. You also have the Hermit. The Hermit can represent the sign of Virgo. But there is a lot of thinking going on behind the scenes. I feel like that is why you have, again, the 2 and the 3 of Wands. There is, waiting around your ex. There is a lot of soul searching. I feel like your ex is thinking about you and thinking, did I make the right decision? If they left you for someone else, it could be, that they're, kind of looking at this and deciding like, did I make the right decision? Should I have chosen Cancer? The Hermit is that type of energy of soul searching for the truth and needing a lot of time to figure things out. But eventually we have the Page of Swords here. And the Page of Swords is communication. So for some of you, there will be communication with your ex. And the Page of Swords is someone who is speaking their truth. This is someone who's being completely honest, completely open. So this can be someone who's telling you that they still care, or someone just admitting that they made a mistake. This is truth. This is just someone being completely 100% honest. Okay, let's get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Cancer about their ex for the month of December? You have the Knight of Wands, the 5 of Wands, and the 2 of Cups. So, I mean, we have the 2 of Cups here. And again, we're looking at an ex situation, someone who's no longer in your life, yet you still have that soulmate connection here with the 2 of Cups. That, emotional bond, that kind of soulmate connection is still there with the 2 of Cups. You also have, you have the 2 of Swords as well. The 2s do represent a choice. So, there can be a choice as far as maybe between you and someone else. I do see a lot of action here, a lot of movement with the Knight of Wands. This is someone who is determined. And this can definitely be maybe your ex determined to maybe, get you back, because there is something dramatically changing here right in the center of the reading. And again, it's kind of weird that the Tower would be right next to the 2 of Swords, because this is someone that will not budge. This is someone who refuses to make a decision because it's too difficult, it's too complicated. But suddenly everything changes with the Tower, and finally, there is clarity. Maybe they finally know how they feel about you, if they want to be with you. And that would definitely explain the Knight of Wands being here, because the Knight of Wands is someone who is determined to go after what they want, who will not stop until they get what they want. And again, this lines up with the soulmate connection. However, I mean, there is a however. We have the Five of Wands right in the center of the reading here. The Five of Wands does mean that your ex is feeling conflicted. It could be that they haven't quite kind of reached that moment where they realize that it was all their fault. I mean, I'm sure some people out there would disagree with me, but the Five of Wands is someone who is feeling conflicted. Of course, this also can represent a rival. If you definitely know that your ex moved on with someone else, it could be that, again, that this person that they moved on with is literally like kind of blocking these two cards from manifesting. Is blocking maybe your ex from pursuing you, because this is someone pursuing you. And of course, you know, I just told you that the Two of Cups is that soulmate connection. If you know that they left you to be with someone else, then you have a rival here, right? You know, they're kind of blocking this energy from manifesting. But again, you have a lot of power here. You have the Emperor and the Magician. So I feel like you have more power over your ex than you know. But for some of you where there is no rival, I feel like for most of you, the Five of Wands, I mean, this ties in exactly with the Two of Swords. These cards are almost the same thing. Your ex is being really stubborn. They refuse maybe to admit that they made a mistake, that there are regrets. Because of that, nothing is happening. With the Two of Swords, I mean, this is stuck energy because someone is just refusing to make a decision, refusing to take action. So again, your ex could be feeling highly conflicted about what happened between you, but I do feel because you have the Tower here that all of that could change very unexpectedly for the sign of Cancer. I feel like there is the possibility of them finally seeing the truth. Maybe you know that they made a very bad decision and leaving you for someone else, or in ending the relationship. I feel like there's a lot of thinking going on behind the scenes that you're not aware of with the Hermit. A lot of soul searching. And again, with the Emperor here and the Magician here and the Emperor 2 times in the first spread, I feel like you have more power over your ex than you realize. Don't be surprised if this person comes crawling back to you. Okay, Cancer, this has been your love reading for December 2019. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.